Hello everyone, my name is Chaitanya and I am the Brand Solution Manager at CA Club India. Today we have with us CA Prateek Jain. Prateek is a qualified CA and the finance head of GoMechanic, which is one of the largest automotive startups of India. Prateek will share with us all his professional journey. We will also try and know how does the finance department at the startup works. Prateek, please share your journey with us. How did you end up working for Go Mechanic?
So I joined GoMechanic last year in January. Before that was I was working for a MNC MetLife, and before that I started my career with a startup only, which is Decision Point Analytics. So actually didn't quite get the flavor of an MNC while working there for 1.5 year.
Mhm.
Always wanted to work in a startup because I really like the atmosphere and really like the how a startup culture keep you on your toes. It also helps you to learn all those things maybe which MNC won't allow you, because there are a set process and procedures that MNC requires you to follow. But in a startup, you are a independent person who can create the entire process from the scratch and
Mhm.
can build your own team. Startups give you an open mind on how far can you go in solving a particular problem. So I just happened to land up at Go Mechanic. I just applied there, and in fact, I was in Goa when I was being interviewed by both the co-founders, Amit
Oh,
Misri and Kushal Karwa. Yeah.
mhm.
So I was the first person from the finance background
Mhm.
that they had, and I have built my own team, and have
Mhm.
created the entire process from scratch. So I really like to build that entire division from the scratch.
Tell us something about your CA journey.
So CA journey was it just happened by a chance. So when I graduated from my schooling, I went to Delhi University to
Mhm.
get a BCom honors degree from Guru Gobind Singh College of Commerce. And then I wanted to do a job, but I couldn't find one. I couldn't find a job in a campus placement of Delhi University. Then I tried to go for a CAT, but obviously the score didn't quite go well. I
Mhm.
then tried my hand at MCOM, but unfortunately that also didn't turn out to be pretty well. So
Mhm.
then I had actually already cleared the foundation course before joining my college. So I just thought, why not give it a shot? And then after 9 months, I cleared my IPCC at the very first attempt. So that's how I end up being a chartered accountant. I never wanted to be a chartered accountant, but I think that's what's meant to be.
Yes, sometimes we have to pursue what's written for us, and sometimes,
Yeah, so I never so my family always wanted to be me wanted me to be a chartered accountant, but I
Mhm.
never wanted to be a chartered accountant. So unfortunately I am a chartered accountant now.
and now finance head of one of the largest startups.
Yeah, yeah. So I take a lot of pride in that I am the finance head of one of the largest automotive sector the of the of the country. And in fact, I really liked how we are building an ecosystem where there are no where we can bridge the gap between a customer and a workshop, which is very necessary.
Surely is a matter of pride.
Yeah.
Prateek, the most obvious choice for a qualified chartered accountant or C aspirants is either going for the big audit firms or starting their own practices, right?
Yeah.
But the changing times and career opportunities are also changing. There are youths like who are willing to take risks and do something new and adventurous.
Hmm.
Can we say that managing finance for a startup has emerged as a new career option for finance enthusiasts? And what are the growth opportunities that we have for finance enthusiasts in a startup India?
So one thing that I think people who are looking out to work in a startup is one thing that they need to understand is that they are not, it is not a conventional finance. It's
Hmm.
very unconventional finance. There are problems where you don't have an answer, but you have to find one. In a
Hmm.
I'm not saying that people should not pursue their careers in a big four. Obviously it's a very good opportunity to work with a big four. It helps you learn a lot, it helps you develop a lot, but at the
Hmm.
same time you end up mastering just one thing, whereas the learning curve in a startup is a threefold. You get to know people, how different people from different divisions are working. You get to know how they are managing. It's really interesting to see how HR team or the operations teams are solving problems on ground. And it's
Hmm.
it's it's pretty challenging, to be very honest with you. It's not like that it's just a 9 to 6 job. It's not. It's I would say definitely it's a 24 into 7 job. And you really have to give all of your experience. You have to use all of your experience, all of your innovations, whatever you can think of, because it's not the conventional finance things that you will be looking at.
Truly, truly, because in startups, you know in and out of all the departments you have when you're leading finance, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, how does the finance department of a startup function? How is it different from handling one in the corporates? Please give us some insights on it.
So one thing that is different from a finance department of a startup than the finance department of a corporate is that they are usually faster. Because there is not much difference actually. The only thing that I see is that there is a direct interaction with your superiors. So there is a atmosphere in a startup where you can just tell your managers or tell your senior managers that they are not liking this.
Mhm.
Whereas in a corporate, there actually are layers. You are just strict. You are just stuck to your managers. There is you cannot go directly to your CEO and say that I am not liking this, or that's how I wanted to do. So that is the major difference between you have that independence in a startup, not only in the finance function, but everywhere you have that. You got that independence to think out of the box.
So, Prateek, do the outbreak of this coronavirus, companies and organizations have taken work from home.
Hmm.
But for organizations like Go Mechanic, that didn't see it started like an option, right?
Hmm.
So you came up with this initiative, Open for Heroes.
Yeah.
So can you please tell us more about it?
Yeah. Go Mechanic is obviously the entire team of Go Mechanic is working pretty hard from home. It is not that we are not working. We are using this time to innovate our technology, to build an ecosystem that can help and smoothen out the process for the customers. The HR team is taking huge. The HR team is making sure that all the trainings are being conducted for our operation people, or for our, let's say, our spare parts division, which is all the more which has become all the more important in today's world. As of for the Open for Heroes, we actually have launched that in order to do our bit for the community. We are servicing all the essential vehicles, all the essential services vehicles, for almost zero cost, without any cost, like the ambulances or the police vehicles, or the essential four wheelers that are there on the road. And also it's doing our bit for the community. I think it is very important in these times that we as an organization should do our bit. Also, we have recently launched a COVID revival package for our customers, which would help them, as soon as the situation gets better, to get their car services at a much better quality.
So, Prateek, do you think that these services that GoMechanic is providing and the increase of because as of now, no automotive were working for last 40 days or 45 days of lockdown. Do you surely think that the business will increase after once everything is working?
Yeah, as I told you that we are as a team we are working on smoothing the customer experience. So as
Mhm.
soon as I think we will be the one of those companies to put our foot on the pedal as soon as the situation increases. In fact, our office has been open since it's in Gurgaon, and Gurgaon is in the orange region, and we are doing around a sizable number of cars every now and then.
Mhm. Oh, that's a good thing to hear. Okay, so do you think that the startups have been worst affected by this outbreak of COVID-19?
It's not.
And
Yeah, yeah, please.
how do you think startups can manage their finances at this crisis?
I don't think that the startups are worst affected. I think this is the situation that every organization, be it in any sector, have to face. The I think the good thing for the with the startup is the flexibility that its employees provides to them. uh, Obviously there is some financial issues in some of the startups, and I'm pretty much sure that it is the case in some of the MNCs as well. But it is a situation that nobody has expected, and I think startup will be able to get past it.
Amazing. So, what about the people who were ready to start their own startups?
Yeah.
And how difficult has coronavirus made it for them? What are the financial advice that you would love to give and share building with the startups in this India?
So one of the financial advice that I personally would like to give them is uh, uh, retain as many as good people that you would need, because it's the people that will help you grow in these tough times. I think that would be that is your biggest asset as an organization and for the startups. uh, I think if this is the time to stand up for your employees, and I think they, it should be okay in a couple of months.
Okay. So, yesterday only, Finance Minister announced that the economic package to fight with COVID-19 crisis, right? But there was no relief measures that have been announced for startups as such. Do you think that startups should get some of the measures in this time of crisis?
So I think most of the startups, I believe that 60% of the startups are covered in MSME. Since the definition of the MSME has been changed by the finance minister, I think now 50 to 60% of the MSMEs will be startups will be covered in MSME. And also,
Mhm.
I would like to add that it's not that government is not doing anything. They have come up with a, startup assistance scheme also a couple of weeks back, that was giving the financial assistance to SIGBI, that was specifically for startups. And I think I know I know five or six startups that have been able to get some financial stability due to that scheme. And in this also, I think it's one of the better steps, uh, providing the financial assistance to the MSME, and help in managing their working capital, because that is the most important thing that most of the organizations are struggling with, how to manage their working capital.
Mhm.
So increasing their credit line by almost 20%, it's a very welcome step.
Yes, truly. So we're done with almost all the questions. I would like to know one of the message that you would like to share with the members of CA Club India, all the finance community.
I think just one thing that in these tough times, I think we should all stand up with our organizations. I think we should definitely lend our support to them and let them know that we are there with them, because at this time, if we are, it's a two-way street. The organization has to stand by you, but at the same time the employee also has to stand by the organization. And I think finance being a very usually the finance function takes a back seat and is usually considered to be a support function of our organization. But I personally believe that it is one of the most important function in our organization, and it has to be strong. And I think we as a group need to ensure that it remains one of the strongest pillar in the organization.
Thank you so much, Prateek. It was lovely having you on CA Club India with us. Surely the finance committee will get insights from this and imply all the useful information that you have provided to us. Thank you.
Thank you so much.